Just on what happens if your child is bullied, but kind of it's weird to think about, but what happens if your child is the one bullying?
Yeah.
You don't think about it. I mean, you hope obviously that's never the case.
Right.
But how do you talk to your child if you find out he's bullying someone?
So you would first talk to your child about it in a very calm, collected manner. Children learn what their parents model for them. So it's important, especially if your child already is bullying others, to promote a calm and cooperative environment of discussion. Talk to the school, ask their suggestion, but at the center of this is to teach the child how to regulate their own emotions and soothe themselves when they're distressed. A theory is that bullies, when they get overly distressed, or anyone really, when they get overly distressed and they want to control their environment through violence and aggression, because that's all they know. That's all, what they've learned, that's what they've seen perhaps growing up, maybe at home or some other place, and if they lived in a difficult environment, it's very understandable that that happened. But to teach them new skills of emotional regulation is the way to go. How to soothe themselves, whether it's through channeling their aggression and energy into exercise or into some kind of soothing hobby. That would be something very important that a parent would need to teach a bully.
Okay.
Their child is a bully.
I can't imagine, but what are some things you think school-wise you could have them do? Would it be better, like you're saying, maybe extracurriculars, or
Absolutely.
get them to a counselor?
Yes,
or...
yes, absolutely. Counselor for sure. Any mental health concern, a counselor, a therapist can be helpful. Additionally, a child who has all this violent, aggressive energy, they can take it out in sports, for example. Exercise is very good for the brain at all ages, for developing brains and adult brains. And so if they channel their interest through sports, first they are expending their energy, they're more regulated perhaps, and they're getting connected to other children, other youth. And that warmth and supportive environment that I discussed earlier could come through a sports team. So I think joining a sports team through the school or through another league could be very beneficial to a child who's bullying.
Absolutely. And you were saying even as a parent, I mean, it's a lot on you because you don't want your child to be scared to come to you.
No, no. It's very common actually that children will not tell their parents if they're being bullied or bullying. If they're being bullied, they don't want the parents to get involved. They might feel embarrassed or feel like a little child. At this age, they want to act like an adult and handle situations on their own. So yeah, parents probably may not even know that something's very dramatic and traumatic is happening to their child at school. So yes, I would tell parents to assume that bullying is happening and talk to your kids. Really just talk to your kids in a calm manner and get to know them and have them feel comfortable to talk to you about difficult topics.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And is there anything at home you can do to make it better? We kind of covered the school part with extracurriculars.
Right.
What about when they're out of school?
When they're out of school, I would still suggest a calm environment at home, limit chaos, have very rules that they can understand and implement, but can also be flexible too in certain situations. It's all about creating an environment that is not chaotic, that is promoting peace and a healthy living environment, really. Limiting violence around the child, limiting aggression. These are all things that can actually promote youth violence and bullying, but if it's limited, it can be very helpful for the child to have a stable environment.
Absolutely. And social media-wise, we were chatting about how that's also a huge thing now.
Right.
What would you recommend with that? Would you recommend regulating the time, checking on what they're doing, or how far would you go with that?
It's difficult, right, because you want the child to feel open to express themselves and see the world and understand it if it is through the social media. But I think parents need to be vigilant if children are getting too attached to their phone. If they're showing signs of never getting rid of their phone and just looking at it all the time, suspect what is actually going on their phone, that they don't let go of it or they're kind of hiding it or keeping it close. I would be vigilant of that.
Because you were saying there's even now a disorder almost that's from too much time.
Yes, there is.
Blows our mind.
There's an internet addiction disorder that's now becoming a diagnosis. There's clinics that are coming up in the U.S. and abroad to treat this, but it's the wiring in the brain is the same. It's an addiction, whether it's substances or sugar or the phone or the internet or video games. It's the same wiring in the brain, and it's unfortunate that our young children are being subject to addictions at such an early age.
Absolutely. Well,
yeah.
thank you so much for
You're
chatting with us
very
about
welcome.
this.
Thank you for having me.
I'm glad we could bring it to light and make sure everyone's prepared in the case of bullying.
Yes, absolutely.
Right.